Amazing, amazing, amazing. I really appreciate all of you coming in today. It is 1 p.m. For those of you that showed up on time, we'd love to start things on time. So I'm going to kick it off and kind of answer right off the bat some of the questions that we usually have. Is this being recorded? If you leave early, you're going to get a recording. Yes, 100%. It is being recorded. And then anybody who's really scheduled for this is going to get a notification by email as well. And then you will be notified that it is coming through. So that is 100%. What we're going to do is my style of webinars. I love to I know when you guys have questions, and if we're talking about something, if you have a question, interrupt us. Obviously, the best way to ask the questions is going to be through the Q&A. I'm going to be monitoring the Q&A a lot myself, and as Sabina is going to be kind of giving us a webinar or a presentation on understanding these Facebook leads, what they look like. We're going to get to see some ads, what they actually look like from an ad perspective. Vanessa is the one that's also with us. She actually runs all this stuff for us. So she'll be able to answer any questions at a high detail. She also works with a lot of our clients directly and has kind of a gauge and understanding of what's working for some clients, what's not working for some clients. If you guys have questions about that as well, I'm sure we get to answering it. So the best way to ask the question is going to be through Q&A. You're going to see a Q&A button somewhere in the middle of your screen. And then as we start doing the presentation, I will interrupt Sabina in her demonstration and ask her a question you guys are asking in the event that it's related to what we're talking about in the topic. So without further ado, we've got 49 people on, which is awesome. We had about, 250 registrants or so?
Yeah, we had something like that.
Yeah, usually 50 show up right off the bat, and we'll get people kind of coming in and then asking questions that we would already answer later on. So we'll cater to everybody. So amazing. All right, so Sabina is gonna help and kind of start the presentation. And Sabina, you go ahead, and then I will kind of mute myself in the back. And then as I have a question, I'll unmute myself and ask you a question. Does that sound fair?
That sounds great. Yeah, Vanessa is here also, so she can answer any kind of questions that we have. So yeah, I mean, we can also have questions at the end of this presentation. So if any of you have any additional question at the end of the presentation, feel free to ask.
Amazing.
So let's start with a presentation. Can you see my screen, guys?
I can. I can definitely see it, so we're good there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm not sure if it's full screen, but hopefully it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Ada, for the introduction, first of all. So we are ready to share our insights with you guys and kind of explain Facebook and Instagram leads and how to leverage them and grow your real estate business. So we prepared this short presentation for you, and Ada already said we'll be answering some questions, and hopefully as many as possible we can answer to you to kind of give you more guidance into this. So with next slides, we are talking about these topics today. First of all, we are talking about the quality of the leads. That's a hot burning topic, definitely. And the main concern with Facebook leads, the questions that we get is if you get a ton of leads, yes, but are they good quality leads? So this is the first thing, and what I would like to do is to compare the Facebook leads with Google leads, just to get some kind of clarification there. So when we look at Google leads, we use keywords to be at the top of the search results when people are looking for homes, which is amazing. Facebook leads are somewhat different. So when you go to Facebook and Instagram, you open the app on your phone and you're not doing that to kind of search for your perfect home. You do that to kind of connect with your friends and family. So there's a difference there. So leads coming in from Facebook and Instagrams are the leads that are on the top of the funnel, as you can see in the image here. They did not go to your CRM by actively looking on your website or finding your page on top of the Google search by specific keyword that you wanted, such as 4-bedroom homes in the area that you target. So this is what are they good for? This is a great way to increase your sales funnel using lead generation campaigns through Facebook and Instagram. This is also an opportunity for you. Why? You can guide people from Facebook through that funnel, from the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and then the end of the funnel. So through whole their buying process, but also you can kind of connect with them, nurture them through that funnel. So you have that special connection from the beginning to the end of their journey, which is also amazing.
Yeah. So I want to mention here just a little bit on the funnel part, which is really important for us, all of us, to understand when we're talking about funnels and marketing. And when we look at a funnel, kind of like a funnel is this, if we see this image that Sabina is showing us here. So top of the funnel, and then you have like the middle of the funnel, and then the bottom of the funnel. So if we talk about, let's say, people buying stages, meaning that if somebody who's actually committed to you, not committed, somebody, you're getting a referral, somebody's giving you a referral saying, hey, I know somebody's looking to buy, that person is at the very bottom of the funnel because that person is a referral. That means it's a great lead. You've got rapport built up, you've got communication, you've got trust established. That's at the bottom of the funnel. Those are amazing leads to get. Like if we ever did any kind of marketing and we said, I only want to find people that are at the bottom of the funnel, you'd be paying a lot of money per lead for leads that are in bottom of the funnel, because those are leads basically served to you on a silver platter saying, here you go, I'm ready to buy. Right, so those are not Facebook leads. If you look at the actual Facebook leads, they're at the very top of the funnel, meaning they are at the very beginning stage of the buying process. There's no trust established, there's no nothing. You have to establish a lot of these things, and that's why the cost of these leads is usually much lower than leads that are further down the funnel. So I kind of just wanted to explain that part. I know I've been asked this before by many other people, like, what is this whole funnel thing? How does it work? That's really how that funnel works. So that's when we're talking about top of the funnel. These are people that, we know they're gauging, we know they have some interest in a home, but there's no commitment whatsoever with these people. You have to create that commitment and help get them through that funnel, through your funnel, to get them from being curious to wanting to talk to you, to having interest, to actually trusting in and wanting to do business with you on the bottom of the funnel. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Sabina. Sorry to interrupt.
That's great. Jump in whenever. So that's why actually I wrote it automated follow-ups. They're very important. We have them in our CRM. You can follow up with your leads through email and through SMS. So we really highly recommend this as well. So we will jump forward to something we call buyer leads. And I'm just going to kind of explain the campaigns we're using first, because it's very important. So we're using lead generation campaigns to target buyers on your behalf. So the type of ads we're using to connect you with your buyers in the desired area are called lead generation ads, and they use this kind of Facebook form, which is really helpful, since leads in this case will never leave Facebook and forget to kind of sign up for your ad. They also have some required fields that we can ask, as you can see here, and we can definitely add more on this, but we recommend keeping it simple, since more people are inclined to leave their info if there's no too much hassle. So let's move forward with some examples. I'm sure everybody would like to see that. Benissa, go ahead.
Sorry, Sabina. Yeah,
Sure.
just wanted to jump in on the form a bit. I mean, what I find as a great advantage of both Facebook and Instagram is that anytime, even if you are using your own account and you are scrolling through your social media and you see a paid ad, once you click on that learn more button or whatever that call to action button is, a great thing that both Facebook and Instagram do is automatically populate that information directly from your account. I mean, all of you sure can change that, but honestly, not much people go through the hassle of actually changing that information. So a lot of the leads that you get will actually have correct information on these little forms, because that is the account that is actually connected to their Facebook or Instagram account, and that is the phone number that is also connected to their account. So most of the times, a lot of these leads will also have a correct phone number anyway.
That's great, Vanessa, and kind of to add a little bit more on top of that. Many of you, if you've ever seen an ad like that, you click on that ad, it opens up your form, it says put your information in, or it's already pre-filled. Let's say if you're looking to put fake information, we all know that after that form is submitted, you're not being taken anywhere. You're really, you're just showing thank you very much. And those of you that have been doing the advertising, you are then kind of downloading those leads from within your Facebook account. We have connected this completely to our CRM system, which means when they fill out this information in your Facebook ad, the lead would automatically go into your CRM system and automatically get set up on SMS messages. It'll shoot them a message saying, hey, thanks so much for requesting information. I want to let you know I've sent it off to you. If you have any questions, let me know. Fully automated. That's already been pre-created and pre-set up for all of our clients through our platform. So awesome, Sabina. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so here are some examples. We're going to start with Toronto, and these are some of the ads we've been running for our clients in Toronto. So an average cost per lead for all of the ads that we've been running in this area is around $7, $7.64 to be exact. And we generated more than 1,000 leads in this area. But if we look at this particular ad, you can see that the cost per lead is a tad lower. This is because some of our clients prefer some ad images over other copies. Maybe they're not the best performing copies or images. But when we do get a chance to optimize it, we do it to kind of lower this cost per lead for you guys. So you can see the overall combined budget for this particular ad is around $5,000, and daily budget for this ad is $6.50, which is amazing.
So just gonna go on top of that, just to say, for those of you that are, if you don't have a huge budget to spend on Facebook, if you don't want to spend $1,000 a month or through for $1,000 a month, this actual ad here has a budget of $6 per day, which essentially, my math is horrible, guys. I'm gonna have to do the calculation. It's $180 a month, right? 6 times 30 is $180 a month. For this ad to generate leads, it's $5.49 per lead. So essentially, it's about a lead per day. 30 leads you're going to generate for the budget you're going to spend at $180. So that's kind of wanted to paint a picture for all of you, kind of guessing, do I need to spend a lot of money per month to actually have this ad run or not? So that's not the case. You can spend as little as, what is the minimum amount we can spend, Vanessa?
200, 250. That's what we usually go for to be able to guarantee that the ad will perform. So yeah, around $6.50.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So next area is there, social, very requested area. So we have a lower cost per lead here, around $3, and budget for this particular ad is around, combined budget again, is around 1,810. Let's move forward.
And I just want to actually mention one more thing. I don't know if we actually mentioned this as part of the presentation. Sabina, I've taken a quick peek at it, but I just wanted to kind of mention again. So when these leads come into your platform from the actual Facebook ad, you get the first name, last name, email address, and phone number. And the lead automatically gets set up on listings from whatever the ad says. So if the ad says they're going to send them listings in Durham that are up to, let's say, $700,000, when that lead goes into our CRM system will automatically put a list together of homes that are for sale at that list price and email that list off to them. And then you can even respond with an automated SMS message after that saying, hey, John, just want to let you know, I've put the list together. I've emailed it off to you. Can you let me know if you got it? If you have any questions, let me know. An SMS message goes out to them there to kind of pre-qualify them, start the conversation. And then on top of that, every time there's new listings for that same price range, our system will just keep sending those listings to them on a daily basis as they become available, because they've shown some interest in that. So kind of just wanted to point that out. That's what kind of happens automatically.
And also to add a bit to what Tado just said, I mean, we of course could not show you here all of the copies and all of the images that we have running, but what has been great so far with buyer leads is simply advertising the fact that they can in fact customize those searches and that these searches will be emailed to them daily. So we tend to use that a lot to just say, okay, sign up here and you will be getting daily listing alerts to homes that match your criteria. Please make sure that to note that the list is fully customizable. So let's say if you want a 2 bedrooms, sure, that can be added or whatever. So it's been a great catch, to advertise that and to make sure that your leads will in fact know that they can change in search at any moment and adjust their price range, their number of bedrooms or whatever else.
Amazing.
Definitely. I was going to mention that, but I'm great that you did already.
we will cover Vaughn. This is actually also a, oh, sorry, can you guys hear me? My microphone kind of.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
It's
kinda kicked
glitched, but
in.
we can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
okay. So next up is Vaughn. This is also a very popular targeting area, and our average cost per lead for ads we've been running in Vaughn is around $8. But I am going to show you the best performing ad in Vaughn with average cost per lead for $3.54. So you can see here like the difference which optimization can make, which is amazing. As you can see, the overall budget for this ad here is around $700, which is also great. Next up is Mississauga with an average cost per lead for $8.58. We have generated around 400 leads in Mississauga so far, and we do have a best performing ad here as well, and that is this one. You can see it on the screen. The average cost per lead for this ad is around $7, and the overall budget is around $100 and $468. So what we can, this is all buyer leads, but we
Right.
can definitely talk more about different types of campaigns we can run for you. And the next step is seller leads or seller ads. So this is something that I'm going to show you mostly examples on. And I do want you to note that's kind of everything we talked about in the beginning of this presentation for people buying homes. The same is for people selling homes. They're not going to Facebook trying to sell homes. They're just like going to Facebook to kind of browse. So you need to kind of lure them in. So I'm going to show you.
So this is still top of the funnel stuff. This is still we're still talking about top of the funnel. They are different leads, and there was a question on here that Benisa just answered, which was what's making these leads have different costs. What's the difference between how's one lead costing $7, how's another lead costing $3? And to be completely honest with you, when we look at the perspective, when we change our ads, like if we have a direction basically from you saying, get me the lowest cost per lead, the images that we use, the things that we do with the actual ads really will drive a lower cost per lead. So what really drives the cost per lead is the attention that an image is going to get. So if one image looks better than another, it attracts more people to look at it, the cost per lead may be lower. That's kind of just to give a little bit of an idea in terms of what really drives that cost. And now seller leads are essentially just people that are reacting to these ads. These are not people searching, like for example, you mentioned Google earlier, which was people are searching for a home for sale in whatever city. With seller leads on Google, people will be searching for home values in my given area, where seller leads on Facebook are essentially, we're casting a wide net to a lot of people and trying to see, hey, does anybody want to see a value of their home? And then we're going to get to see what these ads look like now. So I'm really excited to see. I actually haven't seen these ads. I want to see what they look like to get these people to drive in. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to touch base on form that we're using is the same as in buyer leads, but with the housing rules on Facebook, we have a less options to ask people. So this is something that I do want to emphasize as well.
That sucked a lot. Like that sucked a lot. I remember I want to kind of tell everybody about this because this was really interesting. So when the house, what is it called? It's the housing equity or no, housing
special
equality.
category.
Housing category, no, housing equality in the States, there's a certain law that states that you cannot be discriminating against anybody. And what they did when they put that into effect, they did not allow you in your form to ask somebody for their address, right? So you weren't, was that one of the rules they put together? They didn't allow us to ask for an address. So most of our ads before for home values, if somebody wants a home value, we need to ask them for their address. Like, give us your address so we can actually give you a home value. But Facebook does not allow you. I don't know for those of you who tried running your ads on Facebook, if you ask for an address, they decline your ad. You're not allowed to actually ask for an address. So now let's see what these ads look like so we can see what are people filling the information in and what are they expecting to receive when we get to them.
Yeah, even if you, sorry, Ado, even if you're running these ads without housing, if you try running them without housing or try asking these questions, they can even reject your ad, but also they can kind of pause your ad account, which is not good. Then you have to go through whole process, and I wouldn't recommend that. I know Vanessa wouldn't either. So this is something
Definitely
we've
not.
been struggling with, of course. So here are some examples. I'm gonna go through them a little bit quicker, just to kind of not take too long. With an average cost per leads, we have Barry here with an average cost per lead for about $28. This is something we're asking people, is your house worth selling now? Then we have Vaughn with an average cost per lead for $17. We have as you can see, we have different image here, and kind of maybe more for our clients needed than the other ad that we had here. So it's a different image. And then we have a GTA and Toronto area, which are really like close to average cost per leads. It's around $6, but maybe you can already kind of see that these ads are a little bit different than the ones I showed you before. And that's because we decided last year that we need kind of something more for seller leads on Facebook. The reason for that is what I already kind of mentioned, that they're not looking to sell their homes, but maybe they're thinking about it. So we created a PDF called How to Prepare Your Home and Make It More Valuable to Sell Faster. So this is something that you're scrolling through Facebook, and then you see, oh, how to prepare your home and make it more valuable to sell faster. I'm considering selling my home. Let's fill that out and see how I can do it. So this is something that's been performing really well in these areas. And this is just a part of that PDF, but I just wanted to show you the way that we kind of did that and kind of grabbed the attention of people trying to sell their homes.
So I got something to say to that. If you go back one more part, just one second. So essentially what Sabina was talking about is we've been testing all these different types of ads, and we've been testing so many different ads to figure out, okay, what is the one ad where we can lower the cost per lead as much as possible to try to get as many of these seller leads to give us their information, right? We've tried the home worth ads, we've tried so many different types of ads, and it was really difficult to really find what really works. So we probably, I don't know how much money we spent. I don't want to mention it because it's going to be a lie, but I mean, it's going to be a lie, and since I won't know what the amount is. So we stumbled upon this in the sense that we were doing a ton of research. And when we look at research, we're looking at a lot of people in the States, we're looking at a lot of people all across every single market to find out what are really people currently doing out there where their ads are constantly staying up, and they're really, we don't know whether it's working for them, but we know their ads are continuously staying up. So we kept noticing these people that are offering something in return to basically give us their information. In this case was, if we think about the concept, if somebody downloads something like this, they're probably thinking about selling their home, right? So if they're downloading this, at some point or another, they're going to think that they want to sell their home. So they are basically giving their information in an exchange for this PDF. Now, we have fully automated this inside of our system. We've actually prepared the PDF for you. And those clients that want to do this for us will even customize this PDF to put your information in there. Do we put like the image of the agent inside of the PDF?
We brand everything.
Their logo branding,
yeah. So we brand everything for you so that when the lead comes into your system, into your CRM system, we'll automatically email them PDF and then set up some sort of automated SMS message saying, hey, John, just wanted to make sure you got the PDF. If you have any questions for me, all of that we set up for you, and we can set up for you so that it kind of automates everything for you.
And if I can just add that it's a 2 months long follow-up campaign, so they will not only receive that PDF and like one text message after that. It's an actual campaign that consists of, I believe, 8 emails or something like that, where we constantly remind them, okay, hey, you downloaded this, like, are you interested in selling anytime soon? Can you let us know where do you live? How many bedrooms does your property have? Things like that. So it's an actual, follow-up system that makes the life a lot easier for you, I'd say.
Yeah, so it is a full follow-up campaign, or a full drip campaign that'll continue to be sending out to try to get these people to respond back. I mean, the best thing that you could do for yourself is actually try to call them and try to get them on the phone. And if you do speak to them, take them off that follow-up campaign so they're not going to receive that stuff. But that's kind of to paint the picture in terms of what we're doing for those clients that are on this and how we're setting the whole thing up for you. I want to answer a question for Sean. I see when I was typing, are we able to zero in a neighborhood for one of these ads? So the requirement for housing is still that we have to do minimum 1 mile, is it, Vanessa?
No,
15 miles.
15
15,
miles.
oh God,
Yeah.
15 miles. 15 miles or a city in some cases is going to be better that you can't really zero down. So unfortunately, there's no way to zero into a smaller area. It has to be a wider casted net that you have to be doing for these seller ads.
I mean, this can be a disadvantage, but sure, it can also be an advantage considering that you will always have people who are simply looking to move.
Yes.
And I wouldn't just think, okay, this is terrible, we have to do this 15-mile radius. Sometimes it can honestly do you good. And we have also noticed that, campaigns where we target, for example, people who live in Calgary and want to move to Toronto, those campaigns tend to work perfectly with really low cost per lead. So this does not have to be a disadvantage per se.
Definitely. I agree with that 100%. So next up is a different types of campaigns we can run for you, because we're not like just running seller and Facebook buyer leads. So we can also run a rental leads for you. And I have just one example for each of these campaigns because I didn't want to over do it. But for example, you can see this kind of ad here, and the cost per lead is really good, and it's around $2. Next step is mortgage ads.
So I want to mention I'll mention one part about rental leads. I know, and we have about 70 or some odd people on here on the actual webinar. I know what you're thinking when it comes to rentals. I know who wants to deal with somebody who's looking for a rental. The whole idea behind, you're not making a lot of money and you're making, you're just spending a lot of time not making a lot of money. When it comes to these rental leads, because they're so cheap, you could be really, really, really picky to actually find who you're going to work for. So I'm going to throw some examples of clients that I personally know that continue to do rental leads because and they in fact, they don't actually take any of these people out for rentals. If they have a really good rental, they'll pass it on to somebody to get a referral, or they don't not even get a referral, but they're actually finding buyers for some of these renters. Because we both know that somebody who's coming in, moving from a city to the area, they don't have time to find a property. They're going to rent for first, but then they're going to buy. There's lots of these types of leads inside of this. So if you even tested this to say, hey, I'm going to attempt it to do it for 3-4 months to see what kind of leads am I going to get. And then are there buyers inside of these renters, which there are, I guarantee you there's buyers inside of these renters. There's even people who are wanting to rent because they never even knew they could buy, but they could afford to buy. There are buyers in these renters. So that is, if any of you have ever tested that out, I urge you to test that out if you haven't tested it out. So I just wanted to say that about a renter. So if we can, and then also, I want to say one more thing about clients. Matt Ma was one of them. We did a webinar with him. He makes over $15,000 per month just off of renters. Like just off of renters. Now he's picking and choosing which renters he's going to work with. He's not working with the people that have low budgets for rentals. He's only working with people that are actually making a lot of that want a bigger property. But he makes $15,000 per month every single month from renters. And what's amazing of renters is that you don't have to wait long to get your money.
Yeah.
You get a renter today, you're making your money next month because they're renting pretty quickly. So anyway, just wanted to say that, if one of you really gets that, it makes sense. Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Yeah, just wanted to add, I mean, even if you invested like $200 and run this for a month, you would end up with probably around 150 leads. So you definitely have full rights to be picky and, choose who you don't want to work with. So yeah, they go for really, really low.
Or if you don't want to work with renters at all, just work with buyers that are coming out of that.
Indeed. Indeed.
The only downside is that you have to actually speak to 100 people or so to really find out which of those are really buyers instead of which of them can
That's
afford.
why we have drip campaigns. That's right.
Automated everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So next step is mortgage ads. Of course, we had a lot of campaigns covering mortgage ads, and the average cost per lead is around $6, which is also great. What I wanted to mention here is, if any of you are working mortgage leads, something that's really been working for us is actually, kind of, going really niche with your expertise. So not just like, oh, we can help you, but like, what exactly can you help people with? So this is something that's been lowering our cost per lead tremendously. So this is something that, if you're doing it by yourself, you can definitely, take that tip as an advantage.
Yeah, if I
Next.
may add, Fina, sorry.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that we have just been running mortgage ads for a year now, I would say at least, and we were having so many issues because we, as first, we're trying to advertise, are you looking for a mortgage? Do you need to buy a home? Things like that. And honestly, those did not work at all. So the cost per lead was like tremendously high at $20, $30 per lead. And we were, trying to figure out what exactly can we do to actually make sure that we are speaking to the person who is gonna read this. So what we did is we actually opened one mortgage agent that is a client of ours, and we went through his services. So, okay, he's now doing repairing your credit. He's working with, people who have been rejected by the bank. So we have decided, okay, let's test this out. Let's take like a part of the budget and target, people who have been rejected by the bank. So if you take your phone and you're scrolling and you see, oh, look, I have been rejected by the bank, I want to apply to this. So it's just, narrowing down the criteria a bit, and it's really help us with lowering down the cost per lead for these.
That's a really good point, Vanessa. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
No worries.
Pre-con ads. This is something we've also been working on, and with our average cost per lead for these ads are like $13 to $14. And then we have hiring ads. Maybe you never thought about, having a Facebook campaign trying to hire people, but this has been working really well as well. And cost per lead was around $6. I do have to mention that these all cost per leads are average cost per leads, and they depend on your targeting area, on the images you choose, on the copies you decide to approve or something like that. So they vary, but definitely we can always optimize and try to get as low as possible.
Yeah.
So do you want to say something?
Yeah, which means, I mean, there's been instances where we start a campaign and the cost per lead ends up being $17 per lead, and then we're like, shoot, well, let's readjust and let's tweak some things so we can figure out how do we actually lower the cost per lead. And then we do all the stuff for you to help lower the cost per lead to as low cost per lead as possible. So I know there's been questions about like, how much does it cost? What is this? I know you're going to talk about that now, Sabina, so we can, yeah.
I am going to talk about our services that can help you with Facebook. I was trying to kind of get this all presentation to kind of be in general for, anybody who's interested in Facebook leads and what they are and how they work, and then kind of cover what we can do to actually help you guys. So we actually have different services that we can offer and kind of help you through this Facebook journey. And I'm going to start with first service that's kind of covers it all, and it's called Facebook Managed Ads. And we structured this service to help you with everything. So it covers first setting and creating the ads for you. This means that the ads will undergo your approval, of course, prior to launching them. This also might include like additional research if you need, like if you're indecisive of the area you want to target, we will do that for you as well. Any type of like ad you want to run, because you can write different type of ads, and also any questions you kind of have about the area, the targeting, what you can do to kind of do it differently than others maybe. Second, you will get our expertise in optimizing these ads. As you can see already in the past slides, we have optimized some of these ads really well. And how this is done. So each week, our team has a meeting where we go through all your ads and we look at their performance. If an ad needs optimizing, we decide what's the best way to do it, and then we send it to you for your approval again. So third, any additional changes. If you want to change something, any support that you might have, any questions that you might have during this process, we're there for you. And of course, setting up your Facebook integration. And as Ada already mentioned, automatically sending daily listing searches to for your buyer and rental leads. So this is something Ada already covered. And yes, this is a paid service. We can talk about that a little bit at the end. Maybe some of you will have questions. Benisa and Ada can answer those. We do have 2 additional services. First, I'm going to touch base with one service that's actually for people who are not sure whether they want to do Facebook leads. Is it for them or is it not? You know, this is something that's we called free social ad. And this is something we kind of, what we do is we create an ad and we run it for you, but no optimizing is done and you do not have option for additional support or any kind of optimization and changes. But this is a free service, which means, you know, you can try, you know, seeing if these type of lead work for you, if this type of ad works for you. And of course, there's a third service that's it's actually for people that maybe, you know, already do some Facebook ads, already know something about it, but they're not sure about optimizing them. They don't know how to optimize, how to lower their cost of leads, how to do different targeting or something like that. So this is a special service, and it's actually one-on-one call with you and our Facebook specialists, and they will help you in that in an hour call. They will help you, like, you can go through everything. But if you can go through setting up your ads, you can go through optimizing your ads, you can create your ad account with them. You can do like any question you have, we can help you answer it. So this is something that's, you know, it's really, really helpful for you to kind of know that you have options. So this is it. We covered all the like basics, and now we are ready for any questions that you guys have. I am going to stop sharing my screen.
I've got some points and some questions that I've kind of been reading in on the chat here, and then also the different services. So for those of you that want to do lead generation, if you guys are looking to do lead generation where all of the stuff that we do and we continuously do, meaning that we're going to manage your ads and you want us to really run everything managing it, when the net cost per lead goes too high, we're going to make sure we edit the ad and tweak and figure out what should we do to actually better that. That's part of our managed service, which essentially you're paying us on a monthly basis to actually do that for you. The cost for that service is $99 a month on the minimum side, meaning that for the $99 a month, we run, what do we run? 1 ad, 2 ads? I can't remember.
2 ads.
2 ads.
2 campaigns.
2 campaigns you could run for basically $99 a month. Now you could spend essentially, let's say you have a budget of $200 on Facebook, which you want to spend per month. That means you're going to spend $200 per month on Facebook, and you're going to spend $99 a month for us to manage that ad for you. So that is really $300 a month or $299 a month that you're going to spend on Facebook and really running your ads to get as many leads as you can. That's one of the services. If you, let's say, wanted to run one ad, you've seen one of these ads and you want us to set up one of these ads for you, then we have a service where we bill you to actually just create that one ad for you, and then we don't manage it for you, but we'll create it for you in a one-off purposes. There was a question about whether we optimize your business page. Truthfully, we don't need to optimize your business page at all. Doesn't need to be any kind of optimization done in your business page to make this work. This can work with any business page out there. And then sometimes it's actually better that we create a brand new business page for you that actually has, you know, the city name inside of it that you're targeting. So I hope that kind of helps answer some of those questions. John, can I ask you a question non-related to this webinar? Absolutely. If I'll help answer some of the questions here, but go ahead and ask the question, and I'll get to your answering your question if there aren't any more. I don't believe that I missed anything.
No, I think that we covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Georgiana also had a question about the single listing ads. Yes, we did not mention those, but we do consider those buyer ads in general, and we can absolutely advertise a single property. We just require the MLS number, and the your ad will be fully branded with, you know, any property information that you want on it, along with your logo, your image if you want it, and anything else. Yeah. So it can absolutely be done.
Yes. So for single listing ads or single listing ads on Facebook, they actually work really well as well. Any listing you get, we have a package where it's up to 6 ads. So let's say if you have a lot of listings and you have 6 listings at a time, You can get our package for $299 a month. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it says it's $299 or
I
$199.
believe so.
Okay.
I would need to check honestly.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of listings, we have a package. It'll basically, if you have more than 2 listings per month, you need a little bit of a higher package. But if you have, let's say, 2 listings per month, then $99 a month will create an ad for each listing and then put it up and set it up on the website.
And yeah, what I also wanted to add is like we can create a process where we track this entire listings throughout the moment it's, you know, coming soon, we can advertise it coming soon. Then when it's for sale, we can advertise it for sale. Once it's sold, we can advertise as a seller, you know, ad where we say, okay,
Yep.
this listing has sold in 2 days or for a price
Yeah.
that is, you know, 20% over the asking price. So we can fully track the listing process to make sure that we are advertising the same listing just in its different phases, basically.
Yes. Okay. There's a question. Okay, so there's a couple of questions. Number one, and John, I will get to your question, I promise you, but your question is probably going to be support. The answer will probably be support, but let me answer these other ones. So there was a question. In fact, there's some people that have been wanting for us to contact you for this service. The best way right now, I think, because we've been watching, maybe we missed somebody, maybe we didn't. Anybody that wants us to contact you about the service that we're talking about for Facebook, if you can in the chat say me, just raise your hand, say me, we'll make sure that we collect all those names that want to be contacted and we'll contact all of you about the service. So me, we got me, perfect. We'll get to all of you. I promise we'll make sure that we contact each of you about getting the service set up. To answer a question, there was a question about, can I have this done? Can you teach me, or is there a webinar that you can watch that teaches you how to do these ads? Now, we do have on training.agentlocator.ca, there is a video that we have on how to set up these ads on Facebook. There is a step-by-step tutorial that teaches you how to set up the ads. But honestly, that is a very old tutorial. The problem with a lot of these ads is we're constantly changing things and constantly changing the way the ads look and appear. That may be out of date, and we don't update that as often. But there is a webinar on there that talks about that part of it. All right, so we've got, and ladies, we've got those me's now, so we can, does the chat save after we end it? Like, or does it?
No worries, I can copy everything.
Amazing.
I asked already. We do have one question. I have a lead generation package. I would like some individual ads. And we have a couple of more questions maybe we can answer. Also,
Yeah.
If somebody has Google Ads,
It can be
Asher,
a mix for sure. Yeah.
it can be a mix, but it will definitely you know, translate to the management fee, right? If am I correct, Benissa?
Yeah. So essentially,
Yes.
what'll happen? Yeah, go ahead, Liz.
No worries. I need to have all the account information in front of me to be able to answer the, you know, exact management fee questions. So I can reach out later on and let you know what the exact management fee would be, considering that you will be running both Google and Facebook. What's a good thing? I mean, if you run, sorry, Ada, what's a good thing if you run both Google and Facebook? There is no cap in terms of how much you spend on Facebook. That is completely unlimited. So that's great.
Yeah, for sure. So there's 2 additional questions. One is on the Q&A, and one is on the chat. So the first question I'm going to answer here in Q&A, Greg Brown asked about a qualification service. So he says that calling these leads is a waste of time, essentially, because he's really busy. And that happens quite often, guys. Listen, if you're an agent that has time to qualify leads and sit there and actually work with leads, it does take quite a bit to actually get these people from top of the funnel down to the bottom of the funnel, because you need to actually establish trust, you need to communicate with them, find out who they are. If you don't have the time for that, you should probably not start this at all. Or if you really don't have the time for that and have the money that you can afford a qualification service that could do this for you, we do have an ISA service that is a text and email only service, meaning that we don't call your leads, but we'll text them and email them based on what they're looking at. So for example, we see that a lead is looking at a property and they like the property, we'll actually test them and try to get to speak to them so we can actually set up an appointment for you. We do have a service like that. It is not calling. However, if you're looking for a service that actually calls leads as well, one of the better ones that we've seen is Conversion Monster. They will call the leads for you, but the cost is something like, I think minimum is $800 per month US to start. So it's really pricey, and which means you need to get a lot of leads coming in as well. You can't do it in a lower budget. But that's for agents. Like if you're an agent doesn't have time, you're saying, listen, I don't care what this costs. I'm going to spend $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month on this, it's going to get me 2-3 clients a month, I'm fine with that. It's definitely possible we can help connect all those dots for you guys. But for those of you that have the time for this, definitely do it on your own because there's lots of money in it as well. And there's a question by.
Sorry, Ada, we missed the question from Mary. Got lost with all the me's. Do you have ads that are geared toward condo sellers and buyers? Absolutely, yes. As Ado has mentioned, we can set up these daily searches to go out to them. So we just say in the copy or on the image directly, are you looking to buy a condo? And then they will start receiving these condo daily alerts.
Okay, amazing. And there was a question by John. Hi, for running ad on Facebook, will you be running this ad yourself, or will you need my participation as well as setting the ad? So John, when we do this for you, we do everything for you. We don't need any participation from you other than just approving the ad, meaning that we're going to say, John, we're going to do this ad for you. This is what the ad says. This is what the ad looks like. Just want to make sure you understand this is what it is. And you say, yes, I'm good. And then we do everything else for you. There's really no involvement from you whatsoever other than just approving that ad that's going to be set up. There was a question by Maria. It says, which do you think is better, Google or Facebook? And this is a question that comes up often in a sense. Yeah. So this is the best way that I could explain this question and kind of give you guys a painted picture in terms of understanding both. So if we scale both, say which one is better, which one is worse, they're both internet leads. Like they're both internet leads. They're both top of the funnel leads, because even if somebody's searching for a home for sale in Mississauga, you know, what do we know about them? We know they have an intent because they're searching for a home for sale. They're Googling homes for sale in Mississauga. And on Facebook, you know, they're reacting to an ad that says download a list of homes in Mississauga. They're reacting to an ad. Now, we don't know what the intent of this guy is. We know they're searching for a home, but we don't know what stage of the buying process they're in. And same with Facebook, right? So if you really looked at both, Google is going to be a little bit better just because of that intent, meaning that they have that intention and they're actually Googling for what's, you know, homes for sale in whatever area. So I hope that kind of helps explain it. But we have clients that are successful with both. In fact, we have clients that spend a ton of money in both and really love both in getting both leads.
And also we have people who swear by either of these. So you have people for whom Facebook has never worked and they, you know, swear by Google. And then you have people who have actually never wanted, or Google has never worked for them and they do swear by Facebook. So it's honestly individual. And I would suggest always trying both and see what works best for you.
Amazing. All right. So any of you that have actually said that you want the service and you said me inside of the comment, we will make sure we contact you. We've downloaded a list of all of you that said me. We will contact you. There's been a bunch of messages in between, but if you said me, I promise you, you will get a contact from us.
We have another question, Q&A, Ada. So for Facebook ads, and some ads are more likely to cost less than other ads, would have the same interest and location. Do ads compete with each other?
So yes, so Facebook, some ads are more likely to cost less than others. Yes, okay, the ads compete with each other. Absolutely, in the sense that like when everybody uploads to Facebook all their ads, you know, how does really Facebook decide whose ads to serve to who? The best way that I can explain this is Facebook and Google and all these other platforms do this on a rotation basis and on a cost per click basis. When we set up our ads, we're setting everybody's ads the same way. We're not really, saying this agent is going to be different than another agent in terms of a cost perspective. It's just your budget. You have a budget of $200 a month. Another agent may have a budget of $500 a month. So it's the same ads. And then Facebook is really deciding whose ad to rotate and whose ad to show on there. I hope that kind of helps explain that question so it makes it clear. We don't make any of those determinations whose ad is going to show.
Yeah.
Not early to webinar, any chance you have e-newsletters? So Paul, I have a really big issue with e-newsletters in the sense that I hate them and I don't like them at all. I think they're crappy. They don't work in the sense that people unsubscribe from newsletters. I did a video about this, I think 5 years ago on my YouTube. On YouTube, what I did is iExact has an automated newsletter that goes out that's branded to agents, and it's generic in the sense that everybody gets the same newsletter. And I showed you guys on a video how the agent's database depleted every year because people are unsubscribing from it. So our system has the ability to have e-newsletters, but I hate sending them and I don't think you should send them at all. So having said that, there is a better service that we think you should be sending, and our system is fully incorporated with it. That's the Nosy Neighbor platform. So let me show you real quick about our Nosy Neighbor platform. I want to share my screen here, guys, real quick. Search out local.ca. So instead of sending, can I share screen? Yes, share screen. And this one. Share. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So instead of sending newsletters, because the whole idea about sending newsletters to your people is that you want to stay in touch, right? You want to stay top of mind that, hey, I'm the realtor, I'm the agent that sells homes. And that's the whole reason why you're sending a newsletter. But if you're, instead of sending a newsletter, if you can actually send them something that has a lot more value, it does the same exact thing as a newsletter, but actually better than that, because it gives them something of value. So now we thought long and hard, like what can really be something that we can send to an individual by email that has value and that lives in a specific property. And that is really simple. And that is homes around their area. So meaning that anybody who you set up on a nosy neighbor program will automatically receive listings anytime a new listing comes out in their area. The system will automatically send them an email saying, hey, John, there's a new listing on your area. Here's a listing. Here's what the property looks like. Here's all the information, everything else. On the boards that have sold data, like the Toronto Real Estate Board has sold data, we'll even send them the sold listing. But when it sells, the same listing, we'll tell them, here's what it's sold for. Here's all the information, how fast it's sold, and everything else. So that has a lot more value than anything else that you're sending as far as newsletters. So I'm sorry I kind of went a little too deep into that, but I really have a thing about hitting newsletters. So I hope that came through. Questions. Let's see. There were some other questions here. Do you recommend using ISA?
Yeah.
So Sabrina, the question by Sabrina is, do we recommend using an ISA? I recommend you qualifying the leads if you have the time to qualify the leads. I recommend that you work the leads if you have the time to work the leads. I don't recommend using an ISA if you have the time to do this yourself. You're going to do a much better job at any given moment than any ISA that you ever assign, because you have the know-how, you have the understanding, you're a realtor, you have all these, the power that you have is much better at qualifying your own leads than anybody else ever is going to do at qualifying your leads. Having said that, if you don't have the time to work these leads, I don't think, hiring an ISA is probably going to be a lot better than you letting the leads work themselves. Our system will do a lot for you. Our system will have a drip campaign that goes out to these people and, get them to respond back, and you only work with those who respond back. So yes, you could manage leads that way as well. In fact, we have clients that do this on a consistent basis where they only work the leads that actually respond back to them. But you're missing a lot. Like, you're going to be missing quite a bit of people that would have, had a conversation with you, would have maybe turned into a client. So I hope that helps answer that question. You have to go to Condo to set them up. Francisco, this is an interesting question you have here. So I mean, if you are setting up a lot of clients on the Nosy Neighbor, on the Street Match system, it's best to use a Cognito mode, because after you set one up, it will register them to that website. Then you close the Cognito, open up another one, and then set up another one, another one, another one, another one. We also have another service, which we actually will set up these people on there for you. So if you don't have time to set up people on that Nosy Neighbor program that I showed you just now, and if you have a bunch of clients that you have in the system that are inside of your CRM system, and you want to set them all up on the Nosy Neighbor system, and not only that, but you also want to set them up on our mobile app. I don't know how many of you know that we actually have a mobile app that allows you to browse all the listings that are active, as well as all the listings that are sold. And whenever a notification comes in of a new listing that's being active or sold to your leads, it'll also send them a notification on their phone. We have a service that will actually add all these people on there for you. So we will set them up on campaigns to get their addresses if we don't have them. If you have the addresses, we'll actually input the addresses for you. We'll set them all up for you so that this is all done for you. If any of you want that service, you can email support, or you can actually just message me here that you want us to contact you about that service, then we'll contact you about that service as well, to let you know of how that works. But we can basically set all those up for you. Those are existing clients that would get set up on that. All right. I think we answered all the questions.
Yeah, we covered everything.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. Thank you,
Does
guys.
anybody have a question that we didn't answer? by chance?
There's a newest one from Paul, but it's a CRM related. We can print labels from the CRM as well. Yes.
Yes, there's an
Option. There's a mass action. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to go back to the question that I think Paul, or was it Paul that had about the Twilio integration?
John.
John.
Yeah.
Yes, John.
Something
So,
like that.
John, if your Twilio expired and you have pending message in your CRM system, I don't, even when you reactivate your Twilio, if you reactivate your Twilio on the Twilio side, on the same Twilio account, you'll see if they start going out because it'll actually show that they're going out. But
I do
honestly,
believe they will.
They will? Okay.
Yeah, I
So
do
we
believe
believe they will.
Just message support about that. I'm gonna send the email address right here in the chat, and they can help you up in no time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vanessa.
I was getting a question on my personal, like when they message, they have the ability to message me directly, and they messaged me a few times. Just want to answer it. So you do have to be an agent locator client to utilize any of these services. Like if you're not an agent locator client right now, unfortunately, we don't have a way to integrate like Facebook leads. If we do them, we want the leads to go automatically into a CRM system, and we have a full integration. So unfortunately, if you're not a Facebook client, we can't help you from that perspective.
Another one. What do you need to set up the clients with the app? I have other clients in other CRM. How can I do it?
Support can help you import leads into our CRM system. So if you email support@agentlocator.ca, they can help you understand how to import leads from another system into our CRM. And then we also have a lot of instructions on how to set up your clients on the app. There's webinars that we have that actually run to teach you guys how to do these things. But if you want us to do it for you as well, where you don't have the time to do it, we can do that for you as well. And support can answer that question for you as well. How much is Google PPC management? So Melissa, with the agent locator platform that you have, will manage up to $250 per month on the fee that you're on.
Now.
Oh, it's 400.
It's 400 now. They increased the cap. Yes, 400.
Right. So we'll manage the 400 with the platform that you have. So you wouldn't have to pay anything more than what you're paying now if you're paying $179.95 per month. But the best way to figure is I don't know what you're paying now. I can't see it. You can contact support@agentlocator.ca and ask them that question, and then they can answer it as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think that's it. But it's been oh no. Can an assistant nurture them?
Yes. Arshad, your assistant you can give him or her access to your CRM system, and they can do all the nurturing of the leads themselves. You could even set up a new user inside of your CRM system, call them client care, and you can automatically create a lead sharing policy that says all the leads that come in automatically assign them to that client care account, and then they are the ones working the leads under their account. And then once it's good and ready that you want them to transfer to your own account, then they can assign that lead to you. So that's what we do for our ISA clients when we do things for them. I had a question you missed. You spoke about a Facebook business page. Can you set one up for us? So Melissa, absolutely, we can set one up for you as part of the
Facebook support service. Yes.
Yeah. So there's two things. If you're looking to go on our managed account where we manage it for you, we'll do that for you as part of the process. Like we can actually set up a new account as part of the process. If you'd like us to help you set one up on the side, then support can help you do that as well. If you email support@agentlocator.ca.
Thank you, Paul.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, everybody. It's been amazing. So engaging webinar with a lot of questions.
Amazing. All right. Well, I really appreciate all of your time. Spina, thank you so much. Vanessa, I really appreciate your time as well. Ivana has been in the background helping us as well. So thank you, Ivana. Thank you, all of you. Really appreciate every single one of you, and have yourselves an amazing rest of your week. And we'll call each and every one of you, we promise. After we may not be able to get everybody today, but it's gonna we'll get back to everybody. So you're all most welcome. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
everyone. Bye. Bye.